Right, so today's tutorial is about completing the square, following on from the last one. And we're looking at the slightly more difficult situation where a is greater than 1. And when I talk about a, I'm talking about the coefficient in front of x squared. So the ones we looked at previously, that just had x squared, and now we're looking at these ones where we've got something in front of the x squared. So it just makes it a little bit more difficult, adds one extra step in. So if we take that first example, we have 2x squared plus 4x plus 6. The first thing we're going to do is remove the 2 from these first two terms. We could take it out of the 6 as well. I just find it kind of makes things a little bit more complicated later on. So let's take it out. We take 2 out. So we're essentially dividing both of those terms by 2, and the 6 is going to hang around till the end. The next thing we're going to do is deal with the numbers in here, the terms in here, and we're going to complete the square for those. So if you remember from the last tutorial, to complete the square, we halve this number, so half of it is 1, and we subtract that number squared. We're always subtracting. And then that 6 can still drop down, but just remember we actually haven't dealt with these brackets yet, so that's just going to still hang there. So now we're going to expand that 2 out. Leave my squared out there. So this 1 squared times 2 becomes minus 2, and this plus 6 is still there. So we have 2x plus 1 squared plus 4. And remember, that tells you lots of important information, one of which is the vertex. The vertex is going to occur at -1, because if it's in brackets, we change the sign, and +4. Let's have a go at a couple more of those. So I'm going to let's choose this one. So we've got -3x squared minus 12x. So a little bit different because we don't have any numbers hanging around the end. We're going to get rid of the -3. So we're factorizing that out, dividing both terms by -3. And then at this point, we're going to complete the square of what's in here. So to complete the square, we will halve that number, subtract that number squared, and normally we drop the next one down, but there is nothing to drop down. So then we're just going to expand that -3 back in. -3 times -4 is +12. So for this parabola, the vertex would be at 2 and 12. And because there is a negative here, that would make it an unhappy parabola. So that would make it the parabola going this way, whereas this one is going that way. I'm just going to do one more example, just going through the type where they have a negative in front of the whole thing. Just because it's really easy to make mistakes with negatives, so it's a good one to practice. Also, it doesn't necessarily look like there's a number in front of there, but obviously there is actually a -1. Okay, so we're going to be taking -1 out of all of that. And then we're going to complete the square of what's in here. So keeping those brackets that we've already got, because we're going to deal with that afterwards. But we halve the 2, which is 1, subtract 1 squared, and the 5 is just hanging around at the end waiting for us to be finished. Expanding that -1 back in. Here we've got -1 times -1 is +1, and the 5 is still just hanging around. Got it there. So that is how you complete the square when there is a coefficient greater than 1 in front of a quadratic. I hope this has helped, and don't forget to like and subscribe.